Ojja saliramu ankugendereko.
Makabu kukoma. First of all, good afternoon. Let me apologize on behalf of Bebe Amber Heart Foundation for this delay. Honorable Minister, please forgive me for that delay, and members of the press. With all due respect, Bebe and Amber Heart, through Amber Heart Foundation, and Amber Heart Foundation at the moment is dealing with tuberculosis in Uganda. We are trying so much to fight or to look for the cases of TB that are missing. The background of this moment is because COVID-19 has become a very big problem, and we definitely were asked to put in any help. But as a fighter for tuberculosis, I had to connect these two, because so much symptoms of COVID-19 are most likely the same as those with tuberculosis. I'm here officially to contribute towards 3 groups of Ugandans who are affected because of what is happening in the country. First and foremost, those are the tuberculosis patients who are on medication. Don't forget that TB is a disease that usually affects most people in the ghettos. So most of them are home. And being home, they are poor, but at the same time, they are on strong medication. So we went out and sampled with Dr. Sarah of KCCA. We know the number of people who have tuberculosis who are on medication, but we came down excluding those who can handle until we got a certain number that we know needs help. So today, as Amber Heart Foundation, Bebe through Amber Heart Foundation, I would like to hand over 500 bags of food to the Minister of Health, Madam Honorable Ruth Acheng, and with a request that it could be handed over to those specific tuberculosis patients who are suffering, who need help with food. The details will be given by the doctors at the right time. Doctor, at the same time, so many Ugandans are away from work and people don't have food. We still have 2 weeks to go. We don't know what will come after the 2 weeks. But we have also vulnerable groups that are still working to make sure that the country is aware of what is happening, to give all the news, the awareness about COVID-19, and that is the members of the press in Uganda. So they under a group of Uja, and they also requested for help. So as Amber Heart Foundation and as Bebe the artist, I have handed over 200 bags of food. That's 100 bags of maize flour and 100 bags of beans. But Your Honorable, as I was also coming in the morning, my closest friends were also crying, the DJs. So for that purpose, I also said I'm not going to have songs played in the discos if I don't be of help. So I also hand in as Bebe 100 bags of maize flour and 100 bags of beans to the DJs. So in a total of 900 bags of food. The first lorry is here. We didn't want to take a lot of time more waiting for the second one, which will be here in the next few minutes. So, Honorable Minister, my request is the representatives of these three groups are here. Though we have an issue of the fact that we know we are not supposed to distribute food. So luckily, these people have centers, and the press people are in work. Uja has a center where they have promised that they cannot give out food to groups, apart from those who are called one by one. So the same as applying to the DJs who are in their homes crying. So these few individuals will be responsible to keep the food and give individually to those who come. Or they will distribute because they have the stickers as they've been driving. That is our request, Your Honor. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Stavia.
Thank you so much, Amber Heart Foundation and Bebe for this gesture towards the people who are suffering from tuberculosis. My name is Dr. Tuya Westavia. I'm the Assistant Commissioner in charge of TB and leprosy, the Minister of Health. This donation comes in to support all the TB patients out there who are on treatment and are lacking in terms of what to eat. So we are very happy that you have given us this gesture. Like he has said, COVID-19 has kept us home. It's a good thing for us to control the disease from spreading to us and our neighbors. But it brings challenges of continuing to fend for our livelihood. And the TB patient is one of those who needs a lot of support or who may not be able to sustain themselves during the lockdown, given the category of people who suffer the disease. I know also rich people suffer TB, but those who are out there and are poor, they may not sustain themselves through the lockdown. So this gesture is very welcome, Bebe Cole. The signs and symptoms of TB, like he said, are similar to those of COVID. You will have a cough if you have TB, and you have heard that if you have COVID, you also like a cough. You will have a fever if you have TB, and COVID also gives you a fever. So those of you who are still out there in the community and are having signs and symptoms of cough and fever and are not coming out to test, please come out, and the health workers will evaluate you to rule out TB. If you have had a contact with someone who has...
On behalf of the Ministry of Health, allow me to appreciate Amber Heart Foundation and Baby Cool for the generous donation of food to TB patients within Kampala, and also to other groups that definitely need food, the Journalists Association and the DJs. We are extremely grateful that you have reached out to these groups of people and provided food. TB patients particularly need food because the medicine they take drains them of energy, and they need to take it after they have eaten something. And because we have been under a lockdown, now coming to 4 weeks, it is difficult for many of them, who first of all, we are not even affording food, because we are giving them food through the Global Fund. But after the lockdown, it is difficult even to reach out to them. But working with the National Task Force, we will ensure that the food gets to the TB patients and that they do access food, especially the vulnerable ones that don't have food at all. We are grateful that you have remembered them and that they will be able to take their medications and not neglect taking their drugs and avoid having TB flare up again later on, so that we end up with multi-drug resistant TB. So thank you very much on behalf of the Ministry of Health. I also want to continue to appeal to the other groups, the Uganda journalists and the DJs. Please ensure that you don't invite people like the journalists gathered here to get food. food must be distributed door to door. I am wondering how the individuals will come to access food if they don't have transport, but make sure that if people are accessing food, it is one at a time, so that we avoid overcrowding and avoid spreading the infection. For now, we have managed to keep Uganda relatively at low infection rates. We need to maintain this, and all of you are aware that our goal is to ensure that any infected person only infects one and not any more. So if we maintain that, we will go a long way. The infection rates in other parts of East Africa are increasing. That means Uganda has to remain on high alert, and we have to maintain the principles of the preventive measures that His Excellency communicated. Please remember to maintain your social distance and remind your neighbor to maintain their social distance. It is about life and death, and we must keep alive. All of us must celebrate Christmas. So tell your neighbor, maintain your social distance. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless all of you.
Thank you. It's generous contribution towards the DJs. We all need that kind of help. So thank you very much, Rasta. I'm sure after Convict or even during Convict, we are going to turn your music upside down. Not just you, but all the artists, that have helped in this donation. So thank you very much, Rasta, and God bless you and the Amber Heart Foundation.
Thank you. Maybe my request is for the DJs, not only my music should be played because I've offered, but let's get more closer as a relationship. Let's work more closer. Let's help more musicians.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe for Bebe Cool today through Amber Heart Foundation I've managed to, but I also know that my brothers and sisters may not be in position to have that money to be of help. But those, I call upon those who are in my caliber with finances. Please, if you can, be of help, because you definitely know that all of us, it's necessary to come to help when people are calling in at such a time. Thank you so much for appreciating.
Mawulire 10 omutendero gwasoose obuyambi buno mwabaddemu obuwunga bwakawunga mwabaddemu ebijanjalo mwabaddemu omuceere saako ne sukaali bino byonna twabikuŋŋaanyizza mu bakwano b'abamawulire Friends of the Media abakulembeddwa omukulu Hamis Kigundu era abamawulire ne babifuna olunaku olwajjo engeri gye twakozeemu kino okufuna obuyambi buno okubuwa abantu 10 bewandiisa naffe bammemba baffe n'abatali bammemba kasita babeera nga bannamawulire nga tubamanyi bakola bewandiisa naffe omutendero ogusooka ne tuwa obuyambi buno eri abantu 10 era bwatuuse gye bali.
Bebe Cool naye tumwogereko ng'omuyimbi ate abamutulira entertainment journalist wadde nga wujja abamwetubuula olowooza abakola biiti endala bannamawulire Bebe Cool okuva onadduukira abamawulire kitegeeza.
Twebaza abantu bonna ab'omwoyo omulungi abayimiridde naffe abantu abatudduukiridde mu kaseera kano kuba tukimanyi bulungi abamawulire bangi tebakyakola mirimu gyabwe abamawulire bafunanga 3,000 okuwandiika eggulire nga n'olumu tebazifuna okusinziira ku mbeera eriwo mu ggwanga naye ekikola ekikoleddwa olunaku olwaleero omwami Bebe Cool okuvaayo n'atukwatizaako kabonero akalaga nti tafuna bufunyi mu mulimu gw'abamawulire nti tumuwandiikako talaba bulabi na kunyumirwa ng'abamawulire bwe bakola wabula ayimirira naffe bulungi mu mbeera eno. So omuyimbi ono kyakoze kyetugamba n'abantu abalala kano kaseera wosobola okutegeera mikwano gyo abantu abayimirira nammwe mu mbeera ezisoomooza era tumanyi nga abalala bwe badde bajja bakola tulina essuubi nti n'abalala bagenda kulabira ku kikolo ekibaddewo olwaleero babeere nga batukwatizaako. Wujja kibiina kigatta b'amawulire naye tekirina lusuku tekirina bizinesi tekirina nnimiro tekisuubula tuyimirirawo mu kunyweza mikago n'abantu ab'enjawulo tuyimirirawo mu kunyweza luganda n'abantu ab'enjawulo nga tulwanirira eddembe ly'abamawulire. Naffe ng'abakulembeze b'abamawulire tuli mu kaseera ka kugezesebwa nga bw'olaba ensi zonna bwe ziri mu kaseera akazibu nga babuuza gavumenti ekoze eki abakulembeze bakoze eki naffe bannamawulire bannaffe nga batubuuza bakama baffe abawujja mukoze eki mu kaseera kano kyetusobola okukola ku amplifyinga kugaziya ddoboozi lino ne libeera nga lituuka ku bantu ab'emyoyo emirungi ne babeera nga batudduukirira era obuyambi buno bwe babutuwa tugenda buwa nga bwe twakoze obwasoose ab'amawulire abali mu mbeera esoomooza. Bannayuganda bayinza okuba nga tebakimanyi ab'amawulire tuli mu mbeera eyeewuunyisa ffe tuwandiika ne turipootinga ne tubuulira ensi ebituukiddwako abalala obuyambi obukungaanyizi baffe tubulaga obuyambi obwetaaga baffe tubulaga naye bannayuganda tebafunanga mukisa kutegeera nti abamawulire nabo bali mu mbeera esomooza kino ekyazze tekyawula munnamawulire tekyawula bodaboda tekyawula munnabyabufuzi tekyawula muntu yenna kya buli omu kimukosezza so naffe buno obuyambi bwe tulina tubuwaayo eri bannaffe abali mu mbeera efaanagana ku bwetu ku bannamawulire 100 ababadde bakola mu Uganda tukimanyi bulungi olwaleero bannamawulire bitundu nga 6 ku buli 100 bali wakati bakyakola bano bennyini betugenda okutwalira emmere betutwalira akawunga ebijanjaalo omuceere sukaali n'ebirala byonna bye tukuŋŋaanya okuva mu mikwano gyaffe
President Fabasaka aga entertainment tusaba okuwole ku bayimbi Bebe kusikolako abayimbi ne socialite abasasanya ssente ekiro gye tukuŋŋaanyiza amawulire ne bakukuwa ssente naye nga byalagaze kusasanya bukadde n'abukadde bowa olina akagambo ki gye bali abayimbi n'abantu bonna abali mu show business
bannamawulire tusaka amawulire ag'ebyobufuzi tusaka amawulire ag'ebyemizannyo tusaka be bakutte nga beekalakaasa tusaka era munnayuganda ne tumuwa amawulire g'abamansa ssente ba socialists agenda mu kibaala n'amansa obukadde 10 asanga abantu n'abamansira ssente kano ke kaseera bassebo ne bannyabo basereebu ba socialite abaakabi abanyenya kampala ono mulage nti nomusobola okuyimirira ne bannayuganda abali mu mbeera esomoozebwa mubadde munyenya kampala nga mumansamansa ssente mubadde mukankanya ebyalo nga muyitawo mugaba ssente ewatali bwetaavu nga buno kano ke kaseera okukwata ku mitima gy'abantu kano ke kaseera okuwulira emiranga gy'abannayuganda abakaaba nga tebalina kyakulya abakaaba ng'emirimu gyaweddewo muveeyo tumanyi temugenda kukikola lwakweraga mugenda kukikola lwakulaga kulumirirwa abantu abali mu mbeera esomoozebwa tweyanzize